Rightio, good morning guys. Bit of an exciting one today. We've actually got a ton of new stuff going on the bus, so very keen for that. Obviously the highlight is all the brand new iTech World gear. I've partnered up with iTech World again. The old kit I used to run the 120 amp hour lithium and the 150 watt solar panel traveling, which was a huge upgrade at the time going from an AGM, and it honestly is perfect for just running a fridge. Been able to have power off the grid, but my plans for next year is to get on the road full time again and be able to spend, weeks at a time off the grid, not having to worry about power, and also being able to run things like an induction cooker, air fryers, just all the luxuries. Exciting stuff, let's go. So first of all, the old setup is 120 amp hour lithium, and honestly, I still rate this setup for 90% of people that aren't going overboard like I am, but I really just want to be able to have the luxuries of, in general, not worrying about power, which leads me to this. Got the 300 amp hour lithium as well, which is going to be huge upgrades. I've got a 60 amp DC-DC to be able to charge it. Obviously while I'm driving, you can just run your car for a few hours and then alternator will keep up with your battery. A smart remote for the inverter. I've got a battery monitor so you can actually see what your battery's doing and drawing. It's not like you're just relying on, 12.8. Oh, I think it's half charged, so makes life way easier. And then I've got a 3000 watt inverter pro to be able to run air fryers and everything I want to run. But the plan is I am going to run all these together because I just don't want to waste the opportunity, and it's still really fresh. That battery is only a year or so old, so being able to have 420 amp hours of lithium with 400 watt solar panel and then just everything else brought into it is going to be huge. So the goal for today, get both the solar panels mounted. I do have a mounting kit for the rooftop, but I'm going to have to make some brackets up. The 3000 watt inverters hopefully going next to my fridge on that side of the setup. Run some videos through now so you know what I'm talking about. And I'm going to have to make up a little battery bracket for that and do some welding, which would be good. And I'm yet to decide where the DC-DC will go. But they've also given me a DC-DC charger kit, so that is going to make life insanely easy to install that. I thought I'd just come out here and give a bit of an intro to it, but we'll pack everything away, get to the shed and get into it. The other mod that I was talking about from Phase Fabrication is this latch specifically made for the King's fridges. So, all right, I've got the infill plate on where the old handle used to be. And for the new handle, pretty much that will go like that. 2 holes get screwed in and the handle gets screwed in. It can sit anywhere you like, but I'm gonna put it right on the end. That's the handle install finished. Honestly, really happy with it, eh? Works a treat, locks in. Is it not wild that that's the difference between a 300 amp hour and 120? The 120 is their older model, but very nicely done, iTech World. Keeping it small. But the plan is, both of these are going in that well. And that leaves me all the space for everything else. The 3000 watt inverter, which I haven't measured yet, very nicely done, preparation style, should get mounted here, which will give me direct access, like PowerPoints here. Cook. You get the gist. It's come to my attention that I didn't really measure the panels properly. So it looks like I'm just running the 1250, which should still be more than enough, to be honest. With the 60 amp DC-DC, I reckon it should be sweet. Get a load of this. That could not be more perfect if I wanted it to. It's a very serious bit of kit, isn't it? Oh, it's going to really frustrate me that's upside down. Doesn't matter. Twill do the job. Right, first things first, we're going to get this panel sorted and mounted. Because of the rooftop, the way it pops up, I'm going to have to run the wiring on the other end and then run it down the backbone through this. I think it's the best way to do it. These are the brackets from Summit Touring, which mount nicely to there. I'm just going to have to get some flat bar from the actual bracket to the panel, which I don't really know how that's going to look, but I don't have much of another option. Just make them black, and because they sit real flush anyway, it should be fine. I've been in a bit of a shambles with everything. What are you doing, pup? But I'll show you what I've worked up. I've just got some alley strips, but they are sturdy and the panel is mounted. So the game plan is I've got my rooftop Anderson and the solar Anderson down into there, through the seal, Then I've actually got this. It sounds like I'm in shambles, but I've got this. Got some real thick gauge wiring for the inverter, which is huge wiring, but apparently that's what you need. So that'll run, obviously that'll sit like that. I just need to give access to that wiring down here somewhere so I can feed it through. I guess my goal now, the solar panels mounted, is to make a battery box. Well, it's certainly not winning any pretty prizes, but I'm just going to paint it up. Honestly, it'll do the trick. I'll round off the edges a bit, make it a bit nicer, I think, but you'll never see it as long as it stops the battery moving. That's the goal. Right, so I figured I'd actually get all the wiring to the back of the car first. So, oh, not really. I've just ran the wires out through this, down these pillars, and then into this well. Everything looks disgusting. But anyway, I'm gonna run the BCDC, the BCDC from the front starter cranking battery to the rear well, and then mount the battery, and then figure out my wiring to the inverter. Apologies that I'm kind of all over the shop. It's my first time doing something like this properly, so learning while you're watching. I'm just sending the wire through the engine bay now. But I just wanted to show you guys a little trick. If you don't know, whenever you're feeding wire through firewall, get a coat hanger or a piece of wire and just use that to feed through initially. And it makes it so much easier to get it through and actually pull it through. Good morning. It may or may not be the next day because I was running off like an hour's sleep. And I just got carried away with the wiring. But I'll show you what I'm up to. We're selecting comfort in the workshop today with the trackies. So pretty much, it always looks so much dirtier on video than in real life. This doesn't look as like white and dusty. Anyway, irrelevant. But I ran the wires from the engine bay down through this and out there. This just looks like a mess at the moment. I'm gonna shorten the accessory wires and the heat temp wires and make them a bit neater. And then I'm actually gonna mount the BCDC hard up against that, I think. So then I'm actually able to see, as you can tell, we're getting solar. I reckon I'm gonna mount that there because that'll clear the drawers easy. And then I'll be able to always see sort of what's going on. That's what I got up to yesterday. So I'm trying to wire, I'll show you, these all-tick lights that I'm gonna wire together, and then that's gonna go to a switch. So that's probably this morning's job. Get that, pretty much get every bit of wire that I need ready. And then the positive and negative to this, I need to mount that too. But the positive and negative to this needs a maxi fuse in line next to the battery. So what I'm gonna do is mount this to the drawers, get the wiring in. Yeah, and then when I get the maxi fuse in the mail next week, I'm gonna put that in line, and then I'll just be able to take the drawer out, connect it to the battery, draw back in, and then everything will be set. So more or less, I think that's not a lot left. I'll get the lights. I might even put the switch like here, so I don't have to try and mess around with it when the drawers are back in. All right, so pretty much everything I've done so far is I got those lights in. I just fed the wire down here and then up through that. And then that's just to a switch now, which is here. I was gonna put them on my wings, but I figured it'd actually be quite nice to have it right there. I've just done a positive and negative through to this little fuse box so I can keep all my accessories like my fridge and my rooftop and that, little lights. All that's wired up. I've still got to fix this wiring a bit. It's just a bit spaghetti-ish, but that's all sweet. All I really have left is to get wiring going to ready here for the fridge, so to an Anderson. And then I have to get the wiring from the battery to the inverter, which is that real thick wiring I have over there. I've just connected something to the rooftops power. Oh, it says plus 1.4 because the solar's running at the moment, I believe. Connected something to the rooftop just to make sure that the power's actually draining and it's showing it. But still got to tidy that wiring. That's all sorted now. Then the fridge is ready to be wired straight to that. These are all done. That's all working good. I'm gonna make a cutout for this once the drawers are in. Well, this is gonna be probably not a fun time to get in by myself. It's on trestles. I'm just gonna try and go from the back and drag it, I guess. Nothing to see here. All going very smoothly. Okay. Starting to look a little bit better. I just had to take that little side panel bit off, but it's going in. Oh, fucking out of breath. I'm actually sort of stoked with how that sits, considering I just winged it. Like, full access to the battery still. BCDC is visible all the time. Got that for the, to bloody look at the voltage and whatnot. Pretty much, job done. Get all the drawers back in. I'll show you these rear panels I've put on. They look mint.